Okay, hey everybody. Pardon my voice. It's doing its usual because it's really bad pollen time. Yeah, allergy season, big time. And anyway, today is May 13th, 2024, and I'm going out to see about doing some food delivery. I'm about to quit. Seriously. I'm thinking about maybe just not stressing so much over and just say screw it, because I mean, between the weather, oh my goodness, the weather, they forecast days and weeks of storms and tornadoes, which I understand. I'm not one of those idiots that can't stand anybody who's educated. That would really be stupid of me. But they're not going to be able to forecast down to the minute. So, but it was weeks of hearing about torrential rains, the possibilities of this, and they're going to be all day long and all night long and on, and it not happened. But yesterday, it happened. Mother's Day, yeah, not as much as they said though. Anyway, so the noise was coming up that mower. But yeah, I've gotten despondent, and despondent is kind of a way too dramatic of a word for me of how I was feeling. That's a dramatic word. I'm not a dramatic person. If I talk about people who are very dramatic, yeah, how can you just so plainly in a monotone voice talk about some of their shenanigans? Oh my gosh, some of the things that the people I've known since birth, some of them, and sometimes it's just total strangers. What people come up with is just something else. But anyway, I was getting tired of, everything seemed like, not everything, I'm not an everything dichotomous thinker either. It's either black or white, no in the middle, no gray, no in between, nope. Not one of those either. But the more I talk about something like this, it sounds like it. Anyway, but some of the stuff they do, and some of it, I would have never probably even noticed that much. Of course I wouldn't notice as much of some of what people do. That's just kind of wrong. We probably all, maybe if you drive enough, you've seen people park in the parking spot for people with disabilities. I would have never probably noticed about people parking in, I said I was going to make a whole video about this one time. Restroom breaks happen when you're doing delivery at any time. And people taking their breaks, employees, staff employees, and the women's, they take their breaks in the restroom stall for people with disabilities. I think I need some caffeine. Did I even make that sentence right? But no, not really. But yeah, because they take their breaks and they're like the one that, like I say, some of the stuff people do, like the one that, okay, I had to cut some out, because I don't put kids in my videos, and I was at a light, and it was, I was waiting to be able to turn. There was a long line of people, and I had a yellow, so anyway, I just did it real fast without looking at it, so hopefully I got the right bits taken out. Oh boy. But anyway, I was talking about the people who, do things like the woman in the restroom stall that day that for people with disabilities, and I knocked on the door and she yelled out, "I'm on the phone," but I always knock because I don't know if anybody's in there or not. Usually, because they're always shut anyway. But she yelled out, "I'm on the phone," like she said home. I guess people, I'm sure a lot of people do that. But who talks in the bathroom at home? Who goes to the bathroom at home and makes phone goes, this? Anyway, some of the stuff is like, that I see, I see so many things. Most of it's good on doing these deliveries and everything. I need to start saying that more often. most of it's good, or I'm indifferent. It's just a delivery, or it's just a, visit inside of a store or something, most of it. So the things that I talk about are the ones that are, like, some of them are funny, some of them are, just something interesting, but a lot of them are like scary stuff. Oh, I've had my scary stuff. And I'm not talking just about the restaurants. I'm talking scary stuff. Driving down roads that are scary, or people that are questionable. Things like that. Delivering in people. I don't know if they would just leave somebody like me alone because I'm grandma type. I'm 60 years old. So I'm doing this for health insurance, like I say. And not to pay the health insurance, but to prove to I live in Texas. Do I need to say more? No, to prove to the government I can make a certain amount with edema. God. Oh, yeah. Did I mention I live in Texas? It's north of Dallas. I deliver in the suburbs north and northeast of Dallas. But I mentioned I live in Texas. It doesn't, no, I'm an independent. That just doesn't, it's not something I would, no. But anyway, like I said, I'm about to give up. Although I think I found a good, it's not like I want to be told by any healthcare professional that I've seen. And I keep trying and trying and trying for new ones, But I think I finally found what's causing the cause of my edema. It's been a year now, just over a year, in fact, that it started happening big time. And I'm pretty sure, I'm kind of sure, I am trained in research, but not in medical research, but still in research. So other ones, they just say things like that, and then they don't. Not other ones, but all these providers, if they say anything at all, usually they don't allow me to speak. I know I'm not alone in this, and I'm not saying it's all doctors or all healthcare providers, but I found, I guess I am, like people say, have really bad luck. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in jinx. I don't believe in any of that kind of crap. But anyway, they basically would say something. Well, we'll have to get you a dietitian, and then they can tell you. And I never hear about that dietitian. And like I said, they don't let me speak. So how am I going to get to say, hey, what about this dietitian? Because they don't allow you, they don't allow me to speak. They cut me off in mid-sentence, and if I can continue to speak, they just walk out the door and say, I'm going to go look for some, see if we have any samples. That was always the favorite. God, it's disgusting. So I'm kind of curious why I'm doing all this. Oh, that's right. Last year, 3 times I went to the hospital. ER, swollen like this, what's happening. 3 times. Went to an ER hospital, and they sent me home with prescription for, each time, 3 times, prescription for antibiotics. And they really, Adam was with me one time in the room, and he said, did they say anything? They were talking, but it wasn't anything that really, that made any sense that they would say something like that. Really, it wasn't like a diagnosis. It wasn't like, like anything other than they're going to put me on an antibiotic. The whole 4 hours is going to have to be about 4 hours of sitting in that ER room. And they do the double talk, the non-answer answers. That's mainly the non-answer answers. And you hear a lot of crickets when you ask, or you could try to ask questions real fast, between pause and what they're doing. Nope, they're going to jump in and they're going to do the whatever. What did they say anything? Not kidding. Okay, so how has my lunch run so far? It's 12:15. I started about 15 after, say, give or take. And within the first 15 minutes, now listen to those words, 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes, somebody, different people, different cars ran out in front of me. They did not have the right of way. Okay, in that parking lot where I sit, they did not have the right of way, and they just run in front of me. Okay, it's a parking area, for restaurants. This is not the place, but this kind of parking thing. And they would come out, and it's like they're not looking. They're not looking, they go to the end and then go down to there. You know what I'm talking about. And they're turning. And they're not looking to see if somebody's coming. They just run out. It's like, oh my gosh. Are you there when you're there? I mean, you need to be. I am multitasker. I can drive and talk at the same time and actually not run out in front of people. Wow, it's amazing. Okay, it's not funny. Where are you? Okay, I mean, there probably, I don't like to say it, but there probably are people who are texting. And you see, I don't accept orders while I'm moving, and quite often it's orders, offers come in only when I'm moving. But what I do is I switch to another app, and while I'm sitting still, and that usually is what will do it. Or turn the app on. And now I learned to turn the app off and on, and an offer will come through while I'm sitting still. So anyway, or be somewhere where I know nobody's around, and just, I've also done this thing of taking my phone and going in when I'm sitting still in my car, is to move it from the back to the front, to the back of the front, with my arm in the car, and an offer will come through. Oh yeah, maybe my genius IQ is helping me somewhere. It's pathetic. This is all pathetic. Seriously, my market's pretty bad. It's pretty saturated. Like I've mentioned so many times, I kept a clip of the one that I did, the gray 4-door, older model, cheap, I say inexpensive, kind of car is always those in a certain area. This area right here would be part of it, but it's usually north of here. That's where they have their little, I think it's a fleet. I really do. Look up fleet of cars for delivery and see what you see. It's for a different country is what I found. But anyway, when I first started looking for this, that was the fleet I just now looked up yesterday. The thing, but another one about, can people be with you, and can you have employees and such. I'm not naming which one it is on purpose. I generally do not ever, generally. But anyway, north of here is usually where I see these people. They pull up right next to me. That was at one store, 3 of them, I think. I was picking up from there, delivering 2. 2 of them in that first part. When I went back to get my own, there was another, or something like that. Maybe 3. Maybe 4, I mean. But that was Saturday. And I mentioned that in the other area, Murphy, Texas, those were Allen and Plano. Murphy, Texas, Murphy, Wiley, they seem to be white cars. Same thing. 4-door, white 4-door sedans. Adam told me sedans. I call them cars. Always have. But they're older models. Usually, quite often, these are ones you see that are missing at least one hubcap. They're the older models. And the people in them, I'll tell you that, except for the one that I've seen out in Murphy, one of them, but generally all the other ones, I've actually seen the people. Okay, seen the people, variety of people, but they're all basically, I'd say, upper middle class. They dress really nice. I mean, very nice. Their sneakers, their whatevers, they have it going on, and they're clean cut. But the one I saw, the one I saw in Murphy, he just seemed very extremely aggressive and angry. Aggression usually is. Aggressive people, their aggression. But anyway, I'm going to see what happens at lunch. And I remembered, every once in a while, I remember this last year whenever I first started, that it was always on the lunch, like the lunch run, what you would think it would be. I would do after that, and those were better after it. Think about that. Kind of tells a story, doesn't it? It does to me. Okay, by the way, once I did that offer, I turned it off. No, wait, I came into this parking lot here after I finished, and it was off because I don't, like I said, when I'm doing one order, I don't want another one coming in because they take your fare. And hey, the whole amount. Other than that, it was like $2. You know, and then they don't always tell you how far. And remember, I will probably always say this, often say this, that I still remember the one that wasn't connected to another one, wasn't added to. But it was just one by itself was $2 for 20 miles. Did not happening. I don't take stupid ones, plain and simple. I just don't. Yeah, there's a time or two I would take just to see what would happen if it would start get me going. Most often it did. But anyway, that was back then. This is now, that kind of thing. But after this one I just delivered, I've only delivered one today, and came into this parking lot to stop to turn it on, and it said I need a picture. You know, this one is one that needs a photo, the one I'm using today. And if you know, you know, okay? But required a picture, and it wouldn't take my picture. It would not accept it. Just kept sitting there thinking. So I kind of moved, and of course, you know, you can't move when you take you know, I've already taken the picture. It already has my picture, but it just wouldn't accept it. So I moved because I thought, you know, it's probably, you know, the internet doesn't work here or something. It would be really weird because I have that, you know, and the kind you need to do this. And so I went onto the road. You know, I tried. It stopped, and I turned it off or whatever I did to it. Come back, it still needed it. So I got on the road. Of course, you can't do that. And came back in, and I said, I know what it is, because I was looking at myself in the mirror. It's that I have my glasses, the ones that, what is it called? It's been so long since I've said the name. The kind, you know, that basically, what is the word for it? You know, that they get darker or lighter depending on the how dark it is or how light it is. What is it called? My goodness, I just flew out of my brain. But yeah, and it was dark, even though it's cloudy. The sun's peeking through it a little bit, and so I took those off, and I have another pair of glasses, you know, right there, and that don't do that, and it accepted it right away. Yeah, something about these. I keep wanting to say progressive, but that's a make or something. Oh my goodness. But you know what I'm talking about, right? I know what I'm talking about, but I just can't remember the name. You know, they turned it more into like sunglasses when they need to. And so that was all I needed to do. But that makes me wonder when I talk about these people. I've often said, I don't know how they make it work for them, but then they do have different apps. These people in the gray cars or the white cars, you know, the cheap things, and there they are. You know, they look like they're from upper middle class, yet they're driving a beat up old, not always beat up, but an old, you know, gray or white 4-door sedan. Yeah, it doesn't jive right. At all. You know, I'm trained, by the way, and I was a career student at university, college and university. I took some college because I moved around a lot for like 20 years. But I was a career student for like over 20 years, and I'm trained in research. You know, both qualitative and quantitative. You know, and observation. Oh, I'm really good at it, figuring out what is going on. Of course, it's all fiction until, you know, I know for certain. And usually, at some point, I'll know for certain, and I'll be right. Because I'm trained over 20 years in different things. Of course, I just didn't train on that for 20 years. But, yeah, I was a career student. I was also working during that time, and the homemaker and so on and so forth. You know, I didn't have just a second shift. I had the third. So, anyway. Okay, but what was weird was I also had tried to turn on my, you know, after I did that first little clip on this one. Well, I got it divided up a different way. I'll probably put them all together. But once I turned this way, I should say, after that, I tried to, you know, get some offers, but it wasn't. It was on the one you know. If you know, you know. it wouldn't even pop up. And apparently it's not going to do it out here. Could it be cloud cover? Could it be, I mean, I don't have this trouble like once or twice before, you know, in all these months since last year. This is May 13th and, you know, 2024, and it was last year in July, end of July. So, and I thought this might be a good spot. Apparently not. I'm gonna try again, but we'll see. Okay, I still haven't done any more, but I'm really not all that into it. Like I said, I really am thinking of just saying screw it. But, you know, because what I really see is there's no chance. If they really have this fleet, or they're really this bad off, I'm thinking that maybe later on in summer, once the kids get out of school, you know, it's a couple of weeks from now. Yeah, a couple of weeks from now. And, you know, maybe then that they have more people, you know, ordering for their kids. They're at home. And, or the kids are ordering. But, anyway, I wanted to say something funny, talk about something that's funny, that is, that Adam and I were just talking about the other day. Well, I've mentioned on videos, you know, restroom breaks happen, and because of my health condition, my rare health condition, one of the problems I have is, get this now, muscle atrophy in my hamstrings, and because of it, I have to have the bars in the restroom, you know, to help myself up and all that, have something to hold on to. And it's been like this for I don't know how many decades now. But in doing these deliveries, I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I've seen so many people, you know, women, of course, taking a break. Yeah, I mentioned all that. Well, Adam and I were talking about this, and we're laughing about it. Another part of this is that people like somebody's doing something wrong, socially something wrong. Okay, it's a social blunder. And that's what generally people call it, social blunder. And they do it wrong. That person does it wrong. Does it wrong to me. It's anybody. I have seen other people it happen to. But they did say this social blunder. One person did it to me. And, you know, like somebody's almost about to hit you or something, like, you know, walk into you. I'm talking like walk into you. They come around a corner or something like that. And they almost, and you know how your reaction is, maybe, you know, to go, ooh, or say something like, I'm here, or whatever, to alert them that you're right there. Okay, anyway, I had to pause there for a minute. But whatever it is, you know, my mind, whatever kind of situation it is, will automatically say something to alert the person, you know, so they don't crash into me, knock me down, something like that. With my muscle atrophy, I don't need anybody knocking me down. And nobody does, really, right? But for me, it would be very difficult to get off the ground, seriously, without something to hold on to, no matter what. Anyway, somebody's doing something in their social blunder, their whatever, and then they do that, and I'll say, oh, you know, whatever, and to alert them, they'll say, oh, you're okay, oh, you're okay, and then they do that thing, like, hold out your hand straight in front of you with your palm facing the ground, and act like you're really, really slowly and really softly bouncing a ball. There's no ball there, but, you know, act like it. You know the action I'm trying to say. And they'll say, oh, you're okay, like they're patting your hand without patting your hand, maybe. Oh, you're okay. And it's they who are the one doing the social blunder. They're the ones who should be apologizing. But this is to me, a trend. It's not, that doesn't mean it's something new, but it's like a trend. I've never really seen it that I remembered. There was never even a reason before for me to remember, but lately, like the last year or so, it's very popular. They're doing something wrong. They're not going to take blame. Like I went into, and now let me combine this together. I just went into that restroom over there. Like I said, because of my leg atrophy, you know, hamstring atrophy, I have to use the ladies' room that is for people with disabilities. And a woman in front of me, she was young, probably half my age, and she kind of, you know, she went in there and she went right for that restroom. Okay, I'm not going to judge to say that she has doesn't have any disability or something like that. Mine, you wouldn't know it because it's under my clothes. Okay, my muscle atrophy on my hamstring. And, but it's been on my mind because this happens all the time, especially lately. I am just amazed. I didn't see it last year very much, but lately, this year, just this past, say, month of time, since sometime in April, I've seen it like every day, almost every day that I go out and do some, if I actually do more than one or actually go to more than one. And usually this past week, it's just been every day and sometimes several times a day. People who work in these places or people who are on the phone or just customers like that one, they use that restroom instead when the other one or ones are open. Okay? Who doesn't know this? That's for people who have disabilities. They're made big for a reason, like people who are in wheelchairs. I'm not in a wheelchair. Or because of the poles, like people like me that have problems with it, or whatever is the case. It's not for people who don't. There's a social contract there. Okay, I really don't know maybe where you live. It's part of a law, like you can't park in the parking spot for people with disabilities without getting fined, or they can even tow you, boot your car, whatever. But anyway, this young woman, she did that. She went in there. You get where it's going. She went into that restroom right in front of me. I mean, she actually, like, she was holding the door for me. Okay, because she's like half my age, or a third of my age even. So she went right for that woman. My natural response was to go, oh. So I turned back around, and she turned around right before she got in that door. She goes, oh, do you need this one? I said, well, I am disabled. It was automatic. I am serious, but I don't have any problem. I really don't have any problem speaking my mind. My filter has left the building. Seriously, my filter has left the building. And she said, oh, she said, will you go ahead? You see that whole thing? She might as well have patted her hand at me. Then she took her time. And I was like, why is she doing that? And I thought about it. This kind of sounds a little rude because I don't know if she's disabled or not. And I thought about that, and I said that wasn't right of me, But it was a natural, honest, no filter response. Anyway, so I came out. The water that they have their own sink and all in this place, but it smelled like dirty dog. The water. So I, to wash my hands. So I came back out and washed, when I was finished, wash my hands in the sink that's outside of it. And she was still standing there. It was really weird. That part was weird. Okay, because I was taking my time. Not really taking my time like that, but she, by all accounts, let's just say she should have probably already left. And I thought maybe she had. No, she was standing there at the sink. She was doing her makeup. Okay. And so I said, oh, I'm sorry if that sounded rude. See, I'm the type that I can apologize. She can't. She couldn't, at least in this. Because what she said was, oh, you're okay. And she kept saying that. I was about to burst out laughing because, well, I should say I have a little bitty tiny bit of a filter left. But I was about to crack up laughing. Because, Adam and I were just talking about it again, like I'm saying. And he was laughing at whatever had happened because that's what the person's response was. Pat their hand, like, oh, and say, oh, you're okay. Oh, you're okay. No, I am fine. I am perfectly fine. It's you who's not okay. But I didn't say that. I've not yet said it. But like I said, my filter is kind of wearing thin. Yeah. What would you do? Anyway, I'm going to try again. It's already 1:06, and I'm sitting eating some lunch. I probably shouldn't be eating, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, I only wound up doing that one order. Like I say, I'm not into it anymore, but I did figure out that what I have suspected on this one app, if you know, you know, is that once they send me a really crappy order, like one of them was $10, basically $10 and some change for 20 plus some change miles. You know what I mean? No. Not gonna do that. And so then what I do is okay, I'm gonna do it like this because there are a lot of kids. But you see the clouds, right? They're pretty dark and much darker in other areas. And plus, it never shows exactly the color. But yeah, and there's no predicted rain. But you know, like I said earlier. Anyway, what I'm saying is, what I was saying, I had to delete a clip. One thing in that clip, I was saying that I have been testing this on this one app that you know, if you know, you know which one it is. I don't really ever, like I said. Anyway, basically the acceptance rate is becoming an issue. I think we're a test market, and the acceptance rate is becoming an issue. So, and I've realized my acceptance rate was going down so fast because they send me these crap orders over and over and over again. I'm declining them. So what I do now is if I get a crap order, I decline, and then I go offline. Stop, whatever it is, for whatever app. They all have something different that they call it, but I just go offline, log off, wait a minute or so, and then log back in if I want to continue. And usually when I log back in, you know, I give a minute or so, you know, what I think is enough time for them to send that around, to try to send that around again and again and again and again. You know? And then I log back on, and usually it's a good one after that. And I'm talking like a while ago, I had one that was, I don't think I just mentioned it before, $10 and change for around 10 miles, 10 point something miles. I mean 20 point something miles. $10 for 20 point something. No, I'm not doing that. The worst one I mentioned was $2 for 20 point something miles. No, it was a month ago or less. No, I'm not doing the stupid orders. I'm not accepting stupid offers. Period. I'm an independent contractor. Period. I don't have to. Period. You know, if they get rid of me, so what? You know? When you have nothing to lose, you have nothing to lose. Okay, do it or don't do it. Whatever. And the weather is a big part of what's going on for me. I mean, we have really bad, strong winds, like 40, 45. You know, I didn't know until probably, it may have been as much as 15 years ago when I had a different SUV and I was going around a corner. Wind was probably, you know, it was high, but I didn't think it was that, and it scooted. I had a big, older, Nissan Pathfinder? Yeah. We had bought it new, had like 400,000 miles on it. And before I got this one. And it scooted it. I mean, I didn't know that I kind of knew. I mean, live in Tornado Alley. And I've seen on TV, I was in a meeting, a training class for something else years ago, and to get a certification, but we were all in this big building, skyscraper kind of thing, and the tornado come up, and we were watching on TV, and it was lifting up, throwing around diesels, with the whole thing on it and all that. Yeah, it was scary. So, I mean, I know that wind itself can move stuff around, and I grew up on the Gulf, but that, I just didn't think that. I really didn't know what the wind speed was, because I don't do that anymore. But I didn't know just 40, 45 miles would do something like that. And I was like praying practically, let me just get home. Just run one more corner, one more turn, you know. And then right to the east of me, where I'm looking right now, it is it's kind of scary, and that's the direction I'm going. But it's kind of scary, really. I don't think I'll get home. Okay, yeah, I'll just go on home. It's 1:49. I only did one, but now that I know, I have a pretty good idea. I can't say 100% because tomorrow it could be totally different. But if I do that whole thing, if I see a bad offer, I decline it. Or even if there's anyone that hasn't yet offered, if you know, you know. I decline it. Make sure I hit the nope, not happening. And then I go offline, log off. Sometimes I even close the whole, and I do. I close the whole app. Wait a minute or so. Open it back up, and it doesn't take away from my acceptance rate. I don't think it's a trick, Just think maybe just how it is. Oh, all the cows. The cows haven't come home yet. Anyway, I've seen those cows grow from when they were little bitty calves. Hey, you know how annoying it is to be making a video and then it all of a sudden goes off because it was never on video? I've been making videos on my original channel for August will be 10 years. And I can say that hasn't happened too often, but it has happened in 10 years, think about it. And it just did. I don't know how much, I don't even know if any of it recorded because it was probably on photo. I don't know, it went off. So, but anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I was talking, just about these stuff. How I do it, and it's not counting toward my my acceptance rate so far. And right now, I've finally got it back up to 19%. Woohoo! Up from 9. But how hardly worked. I got sick with the flu, and I'm guessing was the flu, and then allergies again. Hadn't in 8 years, except for once till this year, and this is the second time this year. Man, really. Was rough, but not as bad as it used to be. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.